Hey there, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this Thursday. We do have a few showers that worth mentioning out there. These drifting off to the north, Beaufort County getting in on some light rain there, and we can zoom on in on that, just showing you where those showers are. This is what we were talking about all day this evening, a couple of these light showers, mainly along the coast. Not a washout whatsoever, but just some damp roads there, McIntosh County, Liberty County, eventually Long, Bryan, Chatham County there along 95. Could just get a little spritz there, some light showers. Otherwise, the heavier rain is going to hold off until our Friday, which is good news. I'm going to show you this setup once again. If you've been following along with this storm system that's moving in from the west, you'll notice that it's definitely a lot closer than when we were talking last night. So now we're looking at this line of really just heavy rain. There's only a little bit of lightning earlier this evening in West Georgia, now going up toward the Atlanta metro. But even with all of this heavy rain, there's just not a lot of lightning with it. What we are seeing, though, is this warm slot. This is where we are. So warm front points to the direction it's going to. It's lifting off to the north. So that means everything back behind that is warmer, warm air advection. So it all makes sense when we look at the current temperatures. It's pretty easy to tell who's had longer to get some of that warmer air to come on in. As it loads up here for us, nice shot of the moon, but let it load in and we'll look at where those warmer temperatures are. And that's just one of the pieces of the puzzles. So that warm front up here now, so everything under here definitely warmer, you can see, versus up north. So still hanging on to 70 degrees in Jessup. Crazy that 70s above the average high for today. It is December after all, and that's where we are at, what is it, 901, 902. So yeah, that's it's just pretty warm out there. In fact, let's take a look at where we're starting off the morning at as well. Very warm. A lot of us, similar to a mild morning that we had, warmer for some of us, only going down to the mid 60s for our southern communities. Nahunta, Waycross, Jessup, 65. It's going to be warm down there. Only a few places could sneak down into the upper 50s, being Swainsboro, Sylvania, Statesboro, Hampton, but temperature is actually going to be very consistent tonight going into the morning, bringing to the next point of showers possible for the morning commute. You won't need the jacket to stay warm because it's going to be in the 60s, but you might because of these showers. Now, the coverage is going to be out there about 40 to 50% for the morning commute time frame. So let's time out the latest thinking of those showers. Now, let's see here. Got a few people tuning in here this evening. Shout out to you guys. Lisa, Darlene, Patty, Emily, Dustin, Clint, Tim and Misty watching, Raylan, Dustin, Howard, Tamika, Norma, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to answer all your questions. But here, let's just go right to when we're starting to see a bigger coverage of these showers. 5 o'clock, a lot of people waking up in this time frame. You'd be surprised how many people wake at 5 o'clock. Now, we've got these scattered showers around. Now, what happens as we go throughout the morning commute time frame? Well, let's take it just a step at a time. We could have some instances of isolated heavier downpours here, and don't look exactly at where these are. They could just be embedded within these other showers. Not to say that Statesboro couldn't get a heavier downpour, even though the model's suggesting more so Bryan and Chatham County. So that's just one scenario that looks pretty, it's pretty possible there. Some of us might sleep through this, but check this out. As we go through, say about 7:30, when road's pretty congested, well, it's actually relatively dry. All of that rain from 4, 5, 6, 7 going to lead to damp roadways, hopefully no accidents from the wet roads, but it could slow down your Friday morning commute. I'm trying to look out for you guys, looking ahead, and I would plan a little extra time for Friday morning if I was you, and that's what I'm going to do for myself. Now, most of the mid-morning going to be pretty dry with that heavy rain going up into South Carolina low country out of our viewing area, but then we're going to see a little bit better organized line move our way, not in the mid-afternoon, but more so as we go into the evening. So watch that creep on in here. There are a couple things to note with this. One of which is that for evening commute time on Friday, all clear along the coast and in the low country, unless this speeds up a little bit. Of course, we're going to be posting updates about that. But we're talking about what's happening right now. This is the current thinking, at least this is what I'm thinking is going to happen. 5:30, we're starting to see that band come into our western communities. So Statesboro, Vidalia, McRae, you guys starting to get in on that rain. Now, watch what happens as it gets closer to the coast. It's actually going to weaken. It could have some isolated heavier thunderstorms in this, so let me not get ahead of myself. There is the potential for heavier downpours and brief gusty wind possible. I think the more stronger storms could be with these little guys that are out in front of the main band itself, something that we'll be watching about 6 tomorrow. Dave Turley and myself will be in doing that, so hope you guys are tuning in and you have that WTOC weather app downloaded. But a couple things, the heaviest rain's likely going to be further inland as it weakens as it gets closer to the coast. Heavier rain, that's where the highest accumulations are going to be as well. So as this weakens towards the coast, notice it's more the lighter greens by dinner time Friday night, 7:30. Impactful, yes, very heavy, not widespread. So some good news with that. And then latest thinking is that this is actually moving offshore by the mid to late evening. So you can go have fun on your Friday night, getting ready for those bowl games. I'm excited. My Sooners are playing Alabama. I've got faith in them on Saturday. Well, Friday night's not bad. Saturday, we're going to start off dry here, and then rain later in the day. But let's just talk about Friday for now. So that's what we're looking at. Travel-wise, it's going to be pretty damp. Another busy travel day. If you guys have been traveling on 95 southbound through South Carolina, you know it's been a mess. 2 lanes, lots of extra folks traveling down back to Florida and into Georgia. It's just a mess, and it's going to be pretty slow traveling from Savannah to Charleston in the morning when it's damp, and then in the evening again when you just saw the rain band coming through. So middle of the day, not so bad. Atlanta, they're going to get drenched tomorrow, so not the best traveling for folks heading 16 up to 75. And then Savannah to Jacksonville, believe it or not, actually a little bit drier going off to the south. So just worth mentioning here with those isolated thunderstorms I just mentioned embedded within that line of thunderstorms actually just out ahead of it. There's a marginal risk of severe weather for Friday, but this dark shaded green, that's marginal, 1 out of 5 on the convective outlook scale. This lighter shade of green, that's just a general thunderstorm risk. Like, hey, thunderstorms are possible, but we don't expect them to be strong. And marginal is not really worth being worried about. No weather is worth being worried about as long as you're prepared. But marginal is just like, hey, I would not be surprised if one of those storms got a little bit strong briefly. Not going to be long lasting. But the likelihood of that, it's relatively low. 1 out of 5 shot, right? That's not your best odds. So that's what we've got going on for Friday. How about we look at rain totals through Saturday? Now, where I just showed you where the heaviest rain is, no surprise that that's where the highest potential rainfall totals are for the next 48 hours. I showed you that's weakening as it gets toward the coast. Well, you notice that you get a little less rain when that happens. In some cases, almost half as much, especially down towards Brunswick, Darien, so Camden, Glenn counties. You guys are going to have the least amount of rain for the entire viewing area here. Most rain, Vidalia, Hazelhurst, Swainsboro, Sylvania, Statesboro, even Claxton could get about an inch of rain over the next 48 hours. So that's what we've got going on for the next couple of days. Some good news here. I'm going to pull up the 7-day forecast and then come back and answer some of your questions. Folks tuning on in, Kimberly, as this loads up, you are welcome. Paula, hello there. Darlene asking what percentage of rain for Vidalia and Metter. You guys are going to get rain tomorrow. I guarantee that coming up, especially in the late afternoon, early evenings. Hopefully that answers your question. And the questions I don't get to on Facebook here on the feed, of course, I go back and I comment to all you guys. So don't worry about that if I didn't get to yours. I'm going to have my eyes on that here shortly. But I wanted to show you what's going on here because, of course, a busy travel weekend. And then obviously we have New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Good news that's coming with this, not widespread rain Saturday, Sunday, but showers will be around. Easy to plan around. We're going to be posting videos in the WTOC weather app all weekend long, of course, like we always do. And then Monday, here's some good news. A lot of folks probably going to be happy about this. Tough to be driving on Monday, right? Especially Monday night. Always a dangerous time to drive, but at least looks like roadways are going to be a little bit drier than when we were talking yesterday. Still looked a little bit lagging on some of this moisture getting out of here. Well, I think Monday is looking a little bit drier right now, especially for fireworks. Looking forward to fireworks. I know Tybie's doing fireworks. I don't think I'm going to make it there off of work Monday night, but if you guys do, send me some pictures because I love fireworks. And then Tuesday, bumped it back up to 40. And even though we're about 5 days out or so for next Wednesday, I did bump that back up to 60%. But I know a lot of people just worried more so about the short-term forecast. So there you have it. It's going to rain on Friday, not all day. Scattered showers in the morning, dry middle of the day. Then late afternoon, evening, rain swings back on in. So that's your short-term forecast. Also worth noting, How about upper 70s? Yeah, that's not a typo here. And that's going into December, January. That's pretty abnormal, but not completely crazy. We've had temperatures warmer than that this time of the year. It's just abnormal. That's why we say above average. But if you are looking for cooler weather, about a week away, next Thursday, pretty confident that we're going to have this front slide in, bring in cooler air, but it's about a week away. So if you want a little bit of a spring preview, well, there you have it. You're welcome. I have no control over it, but it's happening either way. Believe me, if I had control over the weather, I wouldn't be wrong. And sometimes I am, and that's okay. But wanted to wish you guys a good evening. If you have those questions and you're watching on Facebook, of course, you can put that in the comment section, and I'm going to go get my eyes on those now. And right back to you guys. Hope you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll chat again soon.